Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I will be telling you guys why Brandon Ingram could very well be the best small forward in NBA within the next 3 to 5 years. Leave a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know more topics down below I could talk about in the future videos. And leave a like if you agree with me, and if you don't agree with what I'm going to tell you guys, just feel free to comment down below and let me know. I'd like to hear all your opinions. Go ahead and get into the video, guys. Thanks for watching. So, Brandon Ingram was drafted number 2 overall in 2016 by the Los Angeles Lakers out of Duke University. The Lakers hoped he could be the small forward of the future. Coming out of Duke, he was a 6'9" small forward with 7'4" wingspan, long frame, was a pure scorer. Averaged around 17 points a game in his freshman year at Duke. Pretty much being able to score from any spot on the floor with the potential to develop into a good defender due to his length. So he can, he has the ceiling to be a good two-way player. All year the comparisons to Kevin Durant were enticing enough for the Lakers to make him their guy at the number 2 spot. So the Lakers had just drafted D'Angelo Russell at the number 2 spot the year prior, and Julius Randle number 7 in 2004. So they had a nice young nucleus they were building, and they were attempting to just pretty much move forward with the future and moving on from Kobe Bryant, trying to build some young assets. Very wiry frame and needed to add muscle, obviously, to be able to compete with the grown men in the NBA. B.I. started his rookie campaign coming off the bench since the Lakers had just signed Luol Deng to a massive 4-year, $72 million contract. But as the season progressed, B.I. eventually got to start. At the start of the season, Ingram really struggled to score and at times shied away from even trying to create a shot. Simply just, he wasn't used to how strong the players were and how much faster and more skilled they were in the NBA compared to college and high school, as most rookies do. Anyway, so by the All-Star break, Ingram became a starter and showed major improvement, mainly confidence-wise. He started to attack the basket more and just seemed like he had finally started to get used to the NBA. And eventually finished the season averaging 9.4 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 2.1 assists per game. And despite the low averages, I liked what I saw from Ingram last season as far as he played solid on-ball defense, and he showed hustle and the will to play defense, which is key because many players don't have that. They just are too one-sided and either focus on offense and don't play defense, or they are more defensively but aren't great offensively. Playmaking ability was also further along than most people expected. He did a solid job running some offensive sets last season, and Luke Walton even gave him the ability to bring the ball up at times, similar to as a point forward, so that was nice to see. And he averaged more assists his rookie season than he did his lone freshman year in college, so that's a good plus. Also a testament to Luke Walton's offensive sets. So I think a good healthy mix of both. He averaged 15 points a game in his last 10 games of the season, so that's a great sign of improvement. More confidence, obviously, just like I said, and that should carry on hopefully to the next season in his sophomore campaign. We're expecting him to average similar to 17 points a game around there, maybe a little bit more since he will be the number 1 guy this season, but we'll have to see how that turns out. This offseason, the Lakers made a move that was huge regarding B.I.'s future development, and that was drafting Lonzo Ball. Ball was a highly touted, excellent playmaker, and therefore the Lakers decided to trade D'Angelo Russell and Timothy Mozgov to clear up some cap space for next season to entice some free agents to come for Brook Lopez and the number 27th pick. And with that number 27th pick, they decided to draft Kyle Kuzma out of Utah, who was a good stretch 4 / all-around guy. Played very well in the summer league with Lonzo Ball, so very excited about him. Now Lakers have good depth at the power forward position, but we're not talking about that. We're moving on to Brandon Ingram. So B.I. will benefit the most from Lonzo Ball, as will the whole team in general, as he is now the clear-cut number 1 guy. In Ingram's sole summer league game, he just flat out balled. He showed why Magic Johnson is so high on him and considered him even untouchable, and also showed the scoring ability he possessed at Duke, which is amazing to see for Lakers fans. He looked so much more confident and said he felt much more confident than he did last season. And he just looked stronger, and with his offensive arsenal expanding and his length, he'll be close to unguardable. Similar to Kevin Durant, B.I. has long legs and just glides through the air on fast breaks and can get coast to coast quickly because of it. He can face up and get by people with that long first step, or he can use his length to shoot over people, and showed at times last season's ability to post up against smaller defenders and just hit a fadeaway again, similar to how KD does. But if B.I. can work on that, and if it will be unguardable since he is just too long for most defenders. B.I. is only 19 and will, emphasis on the will, get better and continue to polish his offensive game, and that is just scary to think that he still has a long way to go offensively, and he's already has the potential to be a good scorer right now. B.I. and Lonzo could potentially lead the Lakers to the playoffs, possibly even as soon as this season. I might make a video on that later. Let me know if you guys want to make a video on that so I can hype up you Laker fans on why the Lakers have a very good shot at making the playoffs this season. Anyway, moving on to B.I.'s competition for the title of best small forward. First, I will start off with Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I left off as a small forward because he plays minutes at small forward, shooting guard, power forward, and point guard, so I'm not sure where to place him. He played mostly shooting guard last season, and this year he played a mix of small forward and power forward, so I am not sure where to put him. For this case of the video, I left him at the shooting guard. LeBron right now is obviously the best small forward in the league, best player in the whole league, but in 5 years he will be 37 years old, possibly retired by then. Kevin Durant, second best small forward in NBA, will be 33 years old, in 5 years, and most players pretty much tend to decline around 32, 33, so Kevin Durant will be at the end of his prime. Kawhi Leonard, the third best small forward in the league, or maybe even second, depending how you view it. He will be 31 years old in 5 years, so like I said, he will be towards the end of his prime. He'll probably still be averaging like 15, 16 points a game, but B.I. should be averaging more by then. Paul George will also be probably his fourth best small forward. He will be 31 in 5 years as well, so similar to Kawhi, he will be averaging like probably still a solid amount, but not enough to be considered one of the top small forwards still. So those are some of the top small forwards right now in NBA and how they will fare in a couple years. And now we're gonna move on to some of the young guys that just recently got drafted and how they will fare in a couple years. So Ben Simmons, #1 pick in B.I.'s draft class. He'll be 26 actually, but he's more of a pass-first point guard. And yeah, he plays point guard / small forward, but he's more of a pass-first player in general. He's not going to score a lot of points. Plus, he has Markelle Fultz and Joel Embiid, who if both are healthy, can easily average 17 plus points a game. So he's technically like a third scoring option on the team. So I don't see him averaging too much. And yeah, I think B.I. will ultimately be better than him for that reason. He'll just kind of dig deep. And a lot of people tend to put scoring as a main factor when you're ranking players. I don't necessarily view mainly scoring, but as a consensus the general consensus will be that since Ingram will be scoring more points, he'll most likely be viewed by the majority of the population as better than Simmons. So that's what I'm going with. Moving on to Andrew Wiggins, the 2014 #1 pick. So Wiggins has shown the capability of obviously to score 20 plus points per game. Yes, he has. He did this season, and I believe he did last season. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know he did this season for sure. However, he is a volume scorer, and his defense has been lackluster, as many people expected him to be a premier defender by this point in his career, but he has not been at all. But he is still a good scorer. Like I said, a volume scorer, however, but the reason why I do not have him ahead of Brandon Ingram is because he has a generational talent on his team, which his name is Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is just amazing. He's just a great player, and as long as he's on the Timberwolves, which he should be for the rest of his career, if the Timberwolves are smart, Wiggins will never be the #1 option on that team. So that's why I have Brandon Ingram ahead of him. Plus, I think maybe at this point of their career, since Wiggins has already started 4 years in, I think Ingram has a little bit higher ceiling right now. So yeah, we'll just go with that. Moving on to this year's #3 pick, Jason Tatum. So Tatum in 5 years could very well be the main guy in Boston, since Isaiah Thomas will probably be old by then. Gordon Hayward will be 32 years old. So all those guys will pretty much be towards the end of their careers that they have right now. Al Horford will probably be retired by then, or it'll just be coming off the bench somewhere. The majority of the nucleus that they have right now will be gone. So Tatum, it'll probably be him and Jaylen Brown's team, and whoever they draft next season with Brooklyn's projected top 5 pick, and whoever pretty much all the young assets, if any of those draft and stash players that they have decide to come over. They just drafted a lot of players within the late lottery, late teens, early 20s. So they've accumulated a lot of picks. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But for that reason, he'll have to share the ball a little bit more, since he'll have a little bit more spread teammates. And I'm sure they'll probably have one other guy. So he'll have to spread the ball a little bit more. So that's why. And I think Ingram has a higher ceiling in general. So that's why I have Ingram ahead of him. But he'll definitely be up there. Jason Tatum's a solid scorer, a very good player. Could be a very good player. I like Jason Tatum, so no disrespect to him at all. Moving on to number 4 pick, Josh Jackson from the Phoenix Suns. Now Jackson, I don't think he'll ever average 20 points a game, 20 plus points a game in his career. He's not known for being a great scorer. I mean, and he has Devin Booker on his team, so I don't think he'll ever average 20 plus as long as Booker's there. But he will always be a good defender, and he'll be versatile. He'll be a nice athletic wing and just fit perfectly alongside Devin Booker. I think he'll be a very good player, but I don't think he'll be enough for him to be considered higher than Brandon Ingram on the list. Moving on to the number 6 pick in this year's draft, Jonathan Isaac. So Jonathan Isaac is an intriguing prospect from Florida State. He was drafted to the Orlando Magic, who already have an abundance of forwards on their team, so I don't know why they drafted him. But I'm not the general manager. Anyways, Jonathan Isaac has a similar body type to Brandon Ingram, but shorter wingspan. But they're both similar players, as in they're tall, lanky, and very wiry. Isaac has the potential to be possibly a 20-plus point scorer, and probably be a similar defender to Brandon Ingram as his ceiling. But overall, Ingram's offensive game is more polished. He averaged more points a game his freshman year than Isaac did last year at Florida State. Overall, yeah, Ingram just has a higher ceiling offensively, but defensively they have a similar ceiling. So I like Jonathan Isaac. He could be an intriguing player in a couple years. See how he turns out. Moving on to the number 3 pick in last year's draft, Jaylen Brown with the Celtics. Similar to how I said with Jason Tatum, they'll just have a lot of young assets around there to spread the ball around. And he's not even that much of an offensive threat to begin with. He's probably the worst offensive threat of these guys listed. Josh Jackson isn't too much of an offensive threat, but he's capable of putting up 15 points a game. So Jaylen Brown probably averaged like 12 to 13. I don't know, but he did improve over the offseason, so we'll have to see about that. Moving on to next year's draft class, Michael Porter Jr., probably one of the top, could be number 1 pick, him or Luka Doncic. Porter has potential maybe to be one of the top guys in a couple years in the NBA, depending on how he turns out. We'll have to see how he does at Missouri. Zion Williamson the year after, we'll see how he does. I haven't seen too much of him on tape besides just athletic ability. I don't know how that'll translate to the NBA, even in college. I haven't seen too much fundamentals from him, but we'll have to see on that. And that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Like I said, pretty much B.I. will be, in fact, best small forward in NBA in 4 to 5 years, and he'll be the face of the most prestigious franchise in NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have all the way through, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment down below how you feel about it. Let me know how you feel. I want to hear your thoughts, and subscribe if you're new. And I hope you all have a great day or night whenever you're watching it, and I'm out.